Welcome, everyone, to KBW. This episode is scheduled for one fall, and we're doing this a little differently because, well, your boy here, Ryan, has the flu. So, to not get my co host, Jeff, sick, we decided to do this a little differently. So, this is going to be a review of Road to WrestleMania and Raw, Smackdown, and NXT. So, let's talk about Raw first. So, in Raw, you got to see a lot of different things. Roman Reigns came back. He announced his remission from leukemia. He seems to be doing a lot better. You know, he was out there fighting. He, part of the flu, gotta love it. He was out there just having conversation with people. It was real emotional for him. And then him and Seth Rollins ended up teaming sort of together, as you could call it. To save Dean Ambrose from a 4-on-1 post-match attack after he was attacked by Elias in the Drew McIntyre match. But, you know, that was to show, hey, listen, I am okay. I can fight. Like, don't just underestimate me. But what we also got to see at the start was Ricochet and Aleister Black again. And, boy, did these two light it up. I mean, we saw Aleister Black do some amazing moves off of the ropes and through the ropes, and he hit his blackout kick, and it was great to see Ricochet doing everything he's been doing. These two look great. I'm excited to see what they're gonna bring to the WWE because they really make it entertaining to watch and fun. They really do. You saw Finn Balor go up against Lio Rush in a singles match. Lio Rush looked really good. That was another very, very well-fought match by both guys. I enjoyed watching that match as well. Like I said, Lio Rush looked extremely good and can be what I think a very good individual fighter in the weeks to come, even months to come, if they turn him into that. He's very skilled. You could tell he was out there and he was fighting. He was fighting extremely well. So I was very proud of him for that. It was like Finn Balor got hurt as well in this match that he accepted. So I don't know if that was part of it or he actually really did get hurt, and this could hinder his ability to reign with this title because, well, if you remember when he won his last title, the same kind of issue happened. He got hurt and he had to relinquish it. So you could see that possibility. But again, Lio Rush looked really, really good out there, and that was actually a really fun match to watch, to see Lio Rush in action by himself. The moves that they put on against each other, great match. Again, exciting to see. You saw Kurt Angle out there against Jinder Mahal. That was a here nor there match. Kurt Angle ended up winning. Braun Strowman attacked Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush. The match never started. So it was Lashley versus Strowman. It was his revenge. Lashley attacked Strowman before the match ever started, so the bell never rung. Then he decided to beat them up and then just bulldozed them both over and walked out. So, match over, Strowman wins, not wins, doesn't matter. He got his revenge by just running these guys over. Boss and Hug, they Hug was an individual match against Nia Jax, and it was a well-fought match, and we saw Bayley come out on top. It was quite nice to see her win that match. There wasn't interference, but it was it was some sidetrack from the refs, and she still won legit. Still a great fought match. It was great to see Bayley win that match. We'll see how those two can work as a tag in a couple weeks. We'll probably see Sasha go up against Tamika this week coming up, if I had to make a guess, in Philly. But we'll see how that plays out. The big one that I thought was Becky Lynch gets arrested. She shows up again at the tag match with Ronda Rousey and whoever else she was teaming with against the Riot Squad and blah blah, and they're gonna win, and she comes out with her crutch and then wants to beat her, and Ronda Rousey doesn't have it, so she comes out and fights her. Great, I thought it was great. She wants to fight. I still think Becky Lynch deserves it. So it was great to see that interaction. But then what happened next was just insane. Rousey just had it. She calls out Vince. Vince doesn't come out. Who comes out? None other than Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon comes out, and she's telling her basically either give reinstate Becky Lynch because I want to fight her. The fans want to see it. Everyone wants to see it. So that's what we're looking forward to. She says, no, I can't do that, unfortunately. All that blah, blah stuff. And she drops the title in front of Stephanie. She goes, I'm not one of your guinea pigs. I can go wherever I want. I'm not attached to this. I have a career outside of this. Basically saying everyone else is stuck there. Does that mean AEW for Ronda Rousey? I would love to see it. I think this is a ploy possibly by them. But at the same time, it may not be. We'll find out how this plays out. But it was it was like nice to see her take that stance because she can't take that stance. She has been running the WWE rampant. She's been kicking butt. She's been doing everything she has to do. So she deserves that right because she wants to fight Becky Lynch. And sure, Becky Lynch, her, and Charlotte Flair in a triple threat match at WrestleMania. It's going to be, I think, a singles match against those two as the final for WrestleMania would be better. But even triple threat match, those three together still be a good fight, still a great fight. So I think that'll be great. Her dropping the title and just walking out saying she doesn't need this. Like I said, I don't know if that's a part of their ploy or she really is like, hey, AEW gave me a call. I don't really need the money because she made her money in MMA or whatever the case may be. So, again, I'm not sure if that's a ploy, and that's just them playing a little game along with them, and this is just what's going to happen, and hopefully we do see Becky Lynch, but I love what's going on. I love, her taking initiative against the authority, saying, hey, listen, this is what the fans want, this is what I want. And then, that was great. And then, it was Ric Flair's birthday, and who shows up? None other than Batista. And we thought Batista was going to go to AEW, but this could just be because Batista, there was talks that Batista just wanted to finish his career against Triple H at WrestleMania this year. And there's been some heavy talks about that. So is that what this is? He beats up Ric Flair unconscious and just so that he can get Triple H's attention to fight him at WrestleMania so he can retire? Or was there really some issues back there where Triple H was refusing to let him retire because he figured he wanted to go to AEW instead of giving AEW the recognition? He said, no, I'm not going to do that. I know, again, there were some talks back and forth. Obviously, it seems more like it was a ploy that he's going to get what he wants at WrestleMania. You'll see him gone. He'll make his appearance probably at Double or Nothing and then go on from there to maybe be not a assistant, but a part of an AEW somewhere, part in their roster somewhere. Maybe as back, in the backs of things, stuff like that. But that was how Raw ended, and it was fantastic. Out of all, this was definitely a better Raw. Like you said, I got to see Lio Rush in action against Finn Balor. You got to see Ricochet and Aleister Black go out there and beat the Revival, and they looked really good. So right now, what's that, 6-0 or 0 on 2 weeks? So 4. That was 5-0. Sorry, they go 6-0 this week because where did they show up again? None other than SmackDown. And they win again. And they looked really good doing it. Not as good as they did on Monday night because they seemed a little more tired, but you still got to see it. So there was that. It was a great match that they had. They won. You got to see the Hardys back in action. They're proving that they're the best tag team ever. So there was that. They fought. Matt definitely looks a lot older, which he is. He didn't get to do what you wanted to see him do as much, but it was definitely more slow motion, but they still were out there. They beat the bar. Great to see him back. You got to see R-Truth do an open challenge and make John Cena proud by having his open challenge and defeated Rey Mysterio and Andrade. So that was another great match, and that I say that he wants to make John Cena proud because that's the whole ploy. They're asking, would John Cena be proud of you for doing this? And he said, yeah, this is what John Cena would do, just give an open challenge to anybody and defend his title. And he's doing a real good job of that. He's had the title very quickly, and he's been able to defend his titles, but really good. Charlotte Flair comes out saying, hey, give me the title. Vince McMahon's going to give me the title next week on Raw, so she's going to show up on Raw so Vince can give her the title because it's deserved of her since Becky's done, Ronda Rousey's done. That's what they're saying. We'll see what happens. But what the big news was on Raw, or SmackDown, was Kevin Owens is back. And at the signing of Kofi Kingston versus the new Daniel Bryan, he announces Kevin Owens is back. Oh, and by the way, Kofi, I'm replacing you with Kevin Owens. I'm not a huge fan of this. I don't like this. Listen, I love that Kevin Owens is back. I'm not saying that. I just don't like that they're replacing Kofi Kingston. I think this is a dick move. But he's replacing him. So Kofi's coming in and was getting ready to go in. Now he's not. That's disappointing. I think it's really a dick move, like I said, from Vince McMahon and WWE. Take that from him. But I see what's going on here, and here's my theory here, and Jeff's gonna rebuttal me if he feels you're gonna see Kevin Owens against Daniel Bryan. Unfortunately, I see Kevin Owens winning the title and Kingston going up against him at WrestleMania because that'll be a bigger match because people would rather see that more probably because those two tagged together at SmackDown at the very end, and they looked really good with each other. They were able to cohesively fight with each other, and they beat Daniel Bryan and Rowan with ease, really for the most part. There's some tiring parts, but they basically just knocked them out and they won. They were able to fight together, which was nice to see. Even though Kofi's a little upset, I was like, oh well, this means Kofi's going to go to AEW. You know, he's screwing him out of the title. Maybe not. Maybe not. I can possibly see this, that they're not going to give Daniel Bryan that rematch at WrestleMania, that they're going to let Kevin Owens go against Kofi Kingston, because Kevin Owens even did an interview afterwards saying, you know, listen, I'm not about taking this title from him, but, you know, Vince called me and gave me an opportunity, and I have kids at home. I've just spent 5 months, 6 months with them at home, and I want to do nothing but bring this title home to them. So I'm going to bring it home to my kids. So I get that. I respect that. You know, want to bring home to kids and all that kind of stuff. So I respect all that. So I foresee that, and then him going, you know what? I respect Kofi because he said he did. That I'm going to let Kofi. I want Kofi at WrestleMania, which I think will be honorable, respectful, and I think it'd be a fantastic match with these two. I think it'd be a great match all the way around. So that's my prediction of what's possibly to come.
Welcome to KBW. This match or episode is scheduled for one flu. Thanks, Ryan, for being a sickly human being. So welcome to episode 3, part 2. Now time to give you my side of things. I'm Jeff. We've heard Ryan's banter. Now it's time to hear mine. So obviously Raw started off with Roman and his awesome announcement that he is in remission with leukemia, which is definitely cool. Totally agree, Ryan. It's awesome that he has been able to overcome that, because that's, you don't wish that on anybody. His character was kind of annoying for a while, but like, as a real person, you can't wish that on someone. So it's awesome after 6 months to see him back, and to see him really back, because we need it. So good job for Roman. Ricochet, Aleister Black, again beating the Revival. Why everybody's beating the tag team champions blows my mind. Why do you keep letting that happen? It doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't make any sense. So the Revival need to start complaining again, because that's some bullshit. But Ricochet and Aleister Black are awesome. I hope they don't keep them as a tag team, because they're so good individually. I don't think you should, you know, stick their talents in there like that. But as a tag team, they're definitely amazing to watch. Aleister Black was one of my favorite people in NXT for a long time. And Ricochet, not being there that long, but with the amount of time he's been there, easily a big favorite from NXT. So that was an awesome match. Glad to see it. Just wish it wasn't always against the Revival. They could fight anyone else. So I get it. Then here we come with your Ronda Rousey moment. Becky again gets her shit off, where she's goes to attempt and attack the Rousey one, the rowdy one, as they say. So with Ronda getting attacked almost by Becky again, continuously wearing those weird yellow outfits. I don't know what that's about, but sure, she looks like Kill Bill. But the man trying her thing again, which was great. I love Becky's doing such a good job with this character right now that it's fun to watch. So to see her come out, do her thing again. Now she's been arrested. It's already become a T-shirt. So when Raw hits Philadelphia on Monday night, and your boys are going to be there, we might have to hit up that concession stand. I might need to get me some sort of a Becky Lynch T-shirt. I don't know. I feel like that's the one you get. That or an Aleister Black shirt. We'll see. Time will tell. So, of course, yes, she gets arrested. Now Ronda lays down the title in front of Steph, lets her know where she can stick her ish. So it's pretty cool. She called a belt, which we all know is a no-no from Vince. So she might be in a little hot water, so to speak. So that was a good, still good, still amazing. Then we had a dead match between Kurt Angle and Jinder. Didn't want to see that. Didn't care to see that. I don't know what they're doing there. It's stupid. I fast forwarded through it. Then we had Finn Balor and Lio Rush. Lio Rush ruined everyone's life. He is the ruiner of lives by interrupting a moment of bliss when Alexa was about to say if Finn showed her his abs, she would show him his, or she would show him her. We don't know. We don't know. There could have been a breast thing going on there. We don't know what she was about to show him, but it got ruined by Lio Rush. Thanks, Leo. You imbecile. Rude. I couldn't stop laughing at Corey Graves. He was beside himself that he screwed that up. Like, I think I listened to it like 4 or 5 times and laughed harder each time. I agree with Corey Graves. Stupid manupid. So, of course, great match. Finn gets the win, but I like seeing Lio Rush a lot more in-ring than his bummy ass, Lashley thing that he does on a weekly basis. So that was a great match. Good to see some things. Braun Strowman gets attacked by Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush, and he starts to get attacked from behind. And Braun walks away. Braun's so directionless anymore, it's sad. I don't care to watch it. I don't care to see it. It's stupid anymore, and it's a shame. You had that guy like at the top of his game, and he could have run your company, but you screwed that up royally by suddenly changing him heel out of nowhere, and then 3 weeks later you changed him face all over again. Extremely stupid, but sure. You do what you gotta do, Vincent K. McMahon. So then we had Drew McIntyre defeating Dean Ambrose with Elias's help. Elias got the dirty deeds earlier, so kind of a little bit of retribution. But then as we don't have a name for what they're called, but the McIntyre and Lashley and Corbin, whatever that crew of dum-dums is, them plus Elias started beating the shit out of our boy Dean Ambrose. And here came the architect, or the Kingslayer. I always like the architect better than Kingslayer. I get it. You beat the game once. But so we had Seth, who is one of my favorites, came out with the chair, and I thought, okay. And then we hear the big dogs music. So we finally get to see Roman do his thing. 7 Superman punches later. A couple spears, a little ooh-ah, and the big Oos was back at it again. It was great to see. So they saved Dean, but hopefully that doesn't mean that there's another Shield reunion. Nobody wants to see that now. Don't let that happen. So that was cool. Then we had Bayley beat Nia Jax in a singles match. Got her with the elbow up top, so the Boston Hug connection continues to roll, both in singles and tag team. Good job, good job. Then we had the Ric Flair celebration. Woo! And he was doing his, we were waiting for him. Sting came out, Shawn Michaels came out, Kurt Angle came out. We had a lot of superstars from the back were out there. His music hits, Triple H is waiting and waiting and waiting. And suddenly they pan back, and who do we see? Drax the Destroyer. I mean, Batista. So Batista shows up, which was, you didn't know. It was between AEW, which they said he had been in talks with, and going back to WWE. So it was nice to see him. It's going to be a nice fresh face, because everybody knows during WrestleMania, you have to have that one Legends match. Kind of like one guy's going to come back for one more match, and this one is going to be Batista. So Batista and Triple H. So that should be a really good WrestleMania match once it's announced. But Batista goes in the locker room and goes into Ric Flair's locker room. He beats up the Nature Boy, and he decides to drag him out. He drags him out to like a part of the backstage area. Then to ask Triple H, "Hey Hunter, do I have your attention now?" So Batista really set him off. That's how Raw went off the air. So that was a pretty decent way to do it. SmackDown Live time. Mr. McMahon pulled his usual. I don't know. It's the same storyline he's doing with Ronda and Becky, with Kofi. He pulled Kofi from Fastlane the same way he pulled Ronda, the same way he pulled Becky from WrestleMania. Same thing. It's like this old man thing. I don't know if they're going with like old man with dementia and like he's just randomly making these crazy things happen. So he replaced him with Kevin Owens, who just returns now, which is awesome. I love Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens did some mean things. It was cool to see him. I was really, really pumped about it. Even though it was to replace Kofi. And Kofi Mania, I think you're still going to see Kofi fight for that title at WrestleMania and winning it at WrestleMania, which will blow the roof off of New York. Hardy Boy's back. It was wonderful to see Matt Hardy back out there again and delete the bar. I loved the Broken Brilliance gimmick. I know that they're not like, he seems like he's not fully broken, you know, because they still have like, he's breaking up into all the different Matt personalities, and Jeff is still saying that things are obsolete. So I think they're kind of going to try to blend it, but for right now, it's nice to see the Hardys back and doing their thing, regardless. We had R-Truth fight Andrade and Rey Mysterio in a triple threat U.S. Open Challenge. R-Truth wins. I don't know why they're giving him such a good push, but I like it. R-Truth is good on the mic, so you expect him to be good doing, you know, everything else. So we had Charlotte Flair decide to speak about all this crap about Ronda and Becky and it's Charlotte. We don't want to see her in the main event of WrestleMania. Hoping for a singles match, but if it is a triple threat, she always performs. As far as being in ring, Charlotte knows what she's doing. Charlotte's great. My boys are back. Aleister Black and Ricochet beating Nakamura and Rusev. Now, again, I get it. They're beating good competition. That's what they're supposed to do. But Nakamura and Rusev are two talents that are, again, being wasted over there because Nakamura has 5-star matches everywhere he goes. And then you bring him here and he's relegated to like just another superstar on SmackDown. Same with Rusev. Rusev was so over it with Rusev Day, and they failed to find a good way to push him. But hopefully they do better with these two young fellas. So Aleister Black and Ricochet with another great win, another athletic, show. It was really good, an athletic showing by them. Then we had good old Kevin Owens and Kofi teaming up to fight Daniel Bryan and Mr. Rowan. It was a good match, and it was amazing to see Kevin Owens close it out with a stone cold stunner. He hit him with the stunner, and oh hell yeah, an homage to Stone Cold. I don't know if he's being allowed to use it now, like he can use that instead of the pop-up powerbomb as his finisher. I would die to see Kevin Owens' new finisher being a stunner. If that's a thing and Stone Cold approved it, that's going to be awesome. So good. That was SmackDown. Again, not much going on over there because they killed the women's division with everything being surrounded by the Raw title. So, all their top superstars are worried about the Raw title. No one's worried about the female title. So there's no SmackDown title basically on SmackDown anymore because, Asuka barely hits TV and she has a belt or the title. So yeah, that was SmackDown Live. It was pretty good. Again, it's been average, but I think they hold back a lot until after Fastlane, so this way they can really build up into WrestleMania. NXT. Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa decide that they are going to reunite as DIY to try to win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I always love seeing them together. regardless of what's going on. DIY was always one of my favorites in NXT. So even though I love them as singles wrestlers, and honestly, I think Ciampa is way better as a single wrestler. He has had that great personality for it. Maybe an evil DIY wins that tag team, the tag team classic. I'm down for that. We had Vanessa Bourne and Aaliyah defeat Conti and Xia Li. It was good. It was a good match. I think there's just, with them, it's a lot to go. They're still very young in the process, and you could tell they're not the best wrestlers yet. But that's what NXT's for. You're going to see them get better. Keith Lee and Dominic Djokovic. That was such a cool match because Keith Lee still at this moment shocks me. A man that large is so athletic, and really athletic, jumping over people with a good roll throughs. He was just amazing. Both of them are just amazing talents because Dominic is he's a giant. He's almost 7 foot with his with his athleticism. So they ended a double count out because obviously it's not going to be a one-off, and you can't first time they meet have one of them win. That's going to be a takeover match probably. That's what I can imagine with the double count out. You're going to see a lot more from them coming up. Final 14 for the Dusty Road Classic was announced, and the Boston Hug Connection showed up to let you know that the tag team titles would be defended on Raw, SmackDown, and even NXT. So I'm definitely down to see that. And of course, Shayna Baszler beat Mia Yim. You expected it. It was a non-title match. I don't know why you couldn't have let Mia Yim win a non-title match just to kind of get it off, but it was a good match by them too. So that should be exciting for now. NXT is always good. It's only an hour, but they know how to crunch that hour together. That was NXT. That was SmackDown. That was Raw. Me and Ryan will be at Monday Night Raw tomorrow night live from Philadelphia. So we'll probably do something cool. We're going to try to do something cool video-wise. Keep everybody updated. So until next week, goodbye and good night. Bye.